My goddess is the best student in her grade. I have been pursuing her for 2 years. But she found herself being charm system. The more I pursue her, the higher her college entrance exam score. She flirts with the top students in every class and puts me in a difficult position. But every time I want to give up, she gives me some ambiguous hints. She said, "You are really great. Girls like quiet boys like you. A caring and loyal man. I'm just a little slow to warm up. Can you give me some time?" Like a fish that takes the bait, I was pulled around by her. Then before the mock exam, I did hear a mechanical sound from her body. A voice says, "Congratulations to the host. You postponed David's exam, so he can buy stationery for you. Charm value 13. This mock exam, your score will be 13 points higher than last time." At first, I wondered if I had heard it wrong. But when the test results came out, she actually scored 698 points. This is exactly 13 points higher than her last score of 685. Chapter 1. Lily is my deskmate. I once dreamed she was a rebellious girl who changed her life. Now at school, the beauty of school. When Lily entered first grade, she was just a flower. The days when she dressed up, her grades were at the bottom. This often resulted in her parents being called in. But soon her grades began to improve steadily, like a stock that has performed well. She climbed all the way to the top grade. She never came down again. In the past 2 years, she didn't take a step back, becoming a goddess in the hearts of teachers and students. At school, Lily was my deskmate during our first year. Because of her outstanding appearance and her impeccable style, she received a lot of love letters, breakfast, and desserts delivered by the boys. She always acts cute and calls me Brother David, letting me share some of her breakfast and desserts she couldn't finish. When her grades were bad, after school, she often stuck to me, letting me teach her how to solve problems. As time went by, I slowly began to like her. I always thought she was a girl with both ambition and perseverance, and lovely people are worthy of my love. So when I heard the system notification from her, I didn't think too much. I even thought I might have imagined it. But when the results came out, points for improvement, I was stunned. Lily thought I was shocked by her results. She waved in front of me and said with a proud smile, "Aren't I great?" I calmed down and tried to calm the turmoil inside me. Finding words, "Lily, you have great grades. Do you have any study tips?" Hearing this, she raised her chin, looked serious, and said, "No, I don't need any secrets. Everything requires step-by-step effort." In the past, I would have agreed wholeheartedly. But now I find this a little ridiculous. I bowed my head, flipping through textbooks. I haven't watched it carefully for a long time. My thoughts are in a mess, so I almost forgot when did I stop being number one. First in grade, I used to be a so-called genius in the eyes of teachers and classmates. When did I start accepting those blank papers and single-digit fractions? Even take them for granted? The Lily snatched the book from my hands and boldly made a request. She said, "I broke my record again in this exam, David. Let's go celebrate." I didn't say anything. Her voice became sweeter. "Let's invite our classmates too. Go to the Countess Hotel for dinner. I heard their banquet is a provincial masterpiece. Can we?" I looked up at her. Her eyes sparkled, waiting for my approval. I asked who paid. Lily blinked and said, "Of course I'll pay. You will pay the bill. Have you seen a couple? A girl pays on a date." She always does this, making ambiguous hints about our relationship, letting me foolishly fantasize and willing to be her cash machine. But I didn't fulfill her wish this time. I said, "Even if that was true, because they are a couple, what we are, not to mention bringing other classmates along. This isn't a date at all." Lily thought I forced her to accept my confession, admitting that I am her boyfriend. So she looked at me with a pitiful expression and said, "But our main task now is to study hard." I interrupted, "I know we need to learn. So don't worry about inviting people to dinner. Focus on your studies." After rejecting her, I didn't say anything else. I took out a test paper and started doing it. In the past, whenever I felt upset, I did a test paper. I never refused to learn. But I gave up school for Lily, mainly because she is always very demanding. Let me choose between studying and her. Choose Help Lily. Choosing a jewelry box for the classroom or attending a lecture. Select Help Lily upgrade and complete the homework. Every time I chose her, I heard Lily's system notification. The system says, the host detects. David refused to treat his classmates to a meal in a 5-star hotel. We regret to inform you. Your charm value has decreased. Next time you take the test, you will drop 15 points. Chapter 2. Lily's panic. She keeps pestering me and won't let me do my homework. She said cutely, but I've already told my girlfriend if I break my record this time, I'll take them to dinner at the Countess Hotel. David, if you don't come, how should I explain it to them? In front of other teachers and students, Lily always plays the role of cold and unattainable beauty. She only pampers me like this. Every time Lily does this, I can't help but soften my heart. I always thought she was special to me. She has feelings for me, but now it seems like it was all just acting. To confirm the impact of the system on her, I pretended to be convinced and reluctantly agreed. All right, I'll ask my dad to book me a private room. We're going to eat there tonight. Next second, the mechanical sound rang out, and the system said, "Congratulations, host. Let David spend money on your 5-star hotel. Increase charisma by 25. In the next exam, the host's score will increase by 25 points." Lily immediately brightened up. Then in a furtive voice, she whispered to me, "David, Apple recently released a new phone." I smiled and nodded in agreement. 7 p.m. I appeared outside the luxury hotel, holding a gift box. As soon as I appeared, everyone's eyes were on me. I heard the system sound again. "Congratulations to the host. Let David buy you a gift. Make everyone envy you. Charm value 10. In the next exam, the host's score will increase by 35 points. Except for Lily's girlfriends, there are 7 or 8 boys and girls, familiar faces at school. Lily is surrounded in the center. Holding her head high, she smiled and said, "You are here, deskmate." She is always indifferent to me in front of others. Her excuse is she doesn't want people to think we date and tell the teacher. Looking back, it's clear she never liked me. She just needs my appreciation and work to elevate her to the status of a goddess. She was never a goddess. It's my love that makes her shine. I took them to the private room we had reserved, sitting next to Lily. But once I moved further away, I can't hear her system notifications. Someone who pretended not to understand asked me why I sat next to a girl. Is it a bit too avant-garde? His words implied that I was harassing Lily and holding her tight. I recognized him. Ken from the experimental class. Poor students living on only 5 yuan a day. $3 was used to buy breakfast for Lily. But Lily always looked down on him. Finally, all the food went into my stomach. I was just about to tell him to mind his own business. But Lily spoke up. "David is my deskmate. It's normal for him to sit next to me." Ken smiled and tried to explore the nature of Lily and my relationship. He was actually just asking about his deskmate. Lily replied, "Don't taint our pure relationship as classmates." Then she hooked her arm around the girl next to her and joked about my relationship with David. Purer than when I was with Sarah. As soon as she finished, a few people smiled. Ken said happily as he took a sip of his drink, "Simple and simple. Eventually, you will have nothing." I'm speechless. The others laughed along, and Lily played the innocent role. Pretend she doesn't understand. I pretended not to hear and asked the waiter to record Lily's order. This led to more contempt with others. After all, I was almost called directly a simple one, but I don't even bother. It's like I have no shame at all. When Lily ordered, she worked her charm on the boys and girls. She said, "Let's go buy a stew pot. This is very good for our girls' health." We also ordered some lobsters, 2 per person. Kids should try the suckling pig. You're at an age where you should eat more meat. She considered everyone but me. Others praised her as the school beauty, rich and beautiful. Lily's face showed a hint of pride. She said proudly, "I am really happy today. You can order whatever you want. Don't worry about saving me money." Chapter 3. Dinner. I put some thought into it. At last, I figured out the source of that strange sound from the Lily. She has a heartthrob system. As long as an honors student behaves like her, her charm will increase. Those charm points then convert into her score. At the same time, she attracted academically successful people. Luck runs out and was distracted by her flirting. Caused their grades to drop. No one doubts her. She is beautiful and has excellent academic performance. So for everyone, it's totally reasonable for boys to like her and pursue her. It's not like that. No teacher has investigated recession among those students' scores. But it's all because of those useless fools. To me, everyone knows me as Lily Simp. I can go to the girls' dormitory to clean the toilets. For her, I can break the school rules. I'll be late and standing outside because I bought some food she wanted to eat. Because it's easy for her, my grades dropped, fell from first place in the grade to last place. Lily always says my family is rich. I am an only child. I will inherit the family business sooner or later. It doesn't matter to me whether my grades are good or not. I don't need to be an A student. As long as I hire good students, that's enough. Gradually, I began to think that getting good grades doesn't matter at all. All I care about is being with Lily. It's the last semester of senior year. If you don't hear the system notification, I'll go to any city Lily is accepted for universities and bought a house there just to live with her. She used my failure to elevate herself. I want to know, could someone like her really have feelings for me? I want to know, what would happen if I stopped being her fool? Dinner is not over yet. But I left midway, saying I had to go to the bathroom. But I just left the hotel. Because I decided not to be a fool anymore. I obviously won't continue to pay for the meal worth tens of thousands for those who have nothing to do with me. This is all my pocket money for the day. Half an hour later, Lily finally called me. She called again and again, more than a dozen times in total. I muted my phone and didn't respond until 11 p.m. When I was texting, something was happening at home. I had to leave early. I forgot to tell you that you made so many calls. Any questions? Lily immediately replied to the voice message. I opened it. That's the crazy sound she makes when she scolds me. You leave without paying the bill. You know I had to get them to chip in. Do you know how embarrassing you are for me? You said you would entertain. I replied, pretending to be surprised. You said you would entertain. Why do you let them pay? Lily complained. How am I supposed to pay you when you leave? Didn't you promise to treat us? How's my gift? I was confused and said, I only promised to help you book a private room. Not paying the bill. I never agreed to buy you a gift. Can't I just use it for myself? You must be trying to act like a rich girl in front of classmates. But you want me to pay the bills secretly behind you. Do you want the best of both worlds? The message was not sent because Lily blocked me. I couldn't help but smile bitterly. How blind I am. How come I think she is hardworking and cute? She likes me. My grades have slipped because of people like her. I hate myself. Chapter 4. Rest time. On the second day, the group that had dinner last night arrived at the classroom door. Asked me to pay them back. I declined and said, whoever invited them should pay. Why are you looking for me? They looked at each other, and then Ken asked angrily. You let Lily entertain everyone at the Earl's wife's restaurant celebrates breaking records. Now you don't have to pay the bill. If you can't afford, don't pretend to be generous. Pay quickly, or we'll tell the teacher. The whistle of the assembly sounded on the playground. They blocked the classroom door. Don't let me out. The remaining students in the classroom, hearing Ken's words, started chatting. How I pretend to be rich, even though I have no money. I sneered and took out the chat history with Lily. To show them that Lily said she would treat everyone to dinner because she broke the record. What does this have to do with me? I only agreed to book a private room for her at the Countess restaurant. When did I say I'd pay the bills? She's nothing to me. Why should I spend tens of thousands to treat everyone? By the way, I only drank a free glass of water last night. I didn't touch any food. If you want me to pay, are you going to rob me on campus? I think I should call the police. Then I pretended to call the police. They immediately blocked me and said, wait, maybe it's just a misunderstanding. A few boys pulled Ken aside and said, forget it. Forget it. Let's go ask Lily. This isn't really his problem. But Ken gritted his teeth and refused, saying, how come this isn't his problem? He pretended to be generous to please Lily. Now he wants us to pay. I leaned against the classroom door frame. I folded my arms and sneered at him. How did you do it? 20th in grade. If you don't understand simple logic, when I liked Lily, spend some money to make her happy. It's the way I kill time. Now I don't like her anymore. Why should I spend money on her? Do you think I should do this just because you have the courage to ask? Ken angrily and embarrassedly retorted. Look at yourself. You can't even get 300 points. How dare you talk to me? I will smile from now on. You better try harder. Otherwise, you might not even be able to beat me. Ken scoffed. Then he turned to the top student next to him and said, have you heard? David said he was going to beat me. I think he has lost his ability to chase Lily, but failed. Now his mental state is a mess. Dean of Guidance, a middle-aged man with a beer belly, walking through the classroom. He noticed we were not on the runway, and noticed that only the top students in each class gather here. I'm the only one who's lazy. Naturally, he took out his frustration on me and yelled, David, what are you doing hiding here? Go to the track and run 20 laps. Dean is over 40. Loud voice, attracting strange looks from passing students. I slowly answered, Mister, they blocked the classroom door and tried to steal my pocket money. They don't let me go running. Ken protested that he owed us money and refused to pay. We just asked him to pay. No one else can stop Ken, so they tried to explain to the dean. This is all a misunderstanding. I don't owe them money. I ignored them and told the dean, "Sir, why don't you just call the police? Let them solve this problem, lest Ken continue to fantasize I owe him money, distracting my attention from studying." The dean obviously won't call the police. After listening to what I said, he snorted and said, "Your research didn't make me laugh." Ken took the opportunity to sarcastically, "A teacher you don't know. He warned me to be careful or he might overtake me." The dean laughed when he heard this. "You surpassed Ken? All you think about is early romance. You never focus on studying. If you really surpass Ken, I will let you replace me as dean." My eyes lit up and I asked. "Mr. the Dean replied, as long as you can do it." Chapter 5. David, the famous fool in school. I have stopped pursuing Lily and began to focus on studies. Everyone laughed at him. No teacher expected him to make progress. After all, this isn't the first time similar things have happened. Every time I find Lily build a closer relationship with another man, I will start studying hard. Let her know I'm no longer interested in her. But every time Lily pouts at me, vaguely hints, or gives me a glimmer of hope, I'll give up everything again and started chasing her. So teachers and students, who wanted me to come back, everyone is disappointed. This time Lily and I had a week-long Cold War. I didn't apologize to her. She refused to talk to me out of resentment. Lily scored 648 on the midterm exam over the weekend. Compared with her previous scores, she has lost a full 50 points. First in grade, she has fallen to 10th place. The whole school is in chaos. When the results come out, the homeroom teacher called Lily over. The dean and the principal had 3 conversations. When she comes back, she looked tired and gave me a gloomy look. I ignored her and continued to organize my notes. But soon after, the head teacher called me out. In the office, the head teacher, the dean, the principal, and I sat on one side of the table. It was like they were conducting a serious interrogation. I stood in front of them, looking down at the tip of my shoe. The 3 exchanged glances and said sadly, "David, if you don't study, that's another matter. But at least it won't affect other people's learning." I looked directly at the dean and asked, "Sir, can you explain who I influenced?" The dean did not answer directly. Instead, he pointed out my shortcomings. "I heard that you bought a new phone recently. Is this the latest Apple model? You don't look like a student anymore." I kept calm and answered, "The school stipulates that mobile phones are not allowed in class, but they didn't say we couldn't take them or buy new ones." By the way, the dean got angry and scolded. "Cell phones are only for making calls or browse the internet. Why did you buy such an expensive phone? To show off at school? No wonder you affect your deskmates' study." I asked, "Lily, do you think I was affecting her studies?" My patience had run out, so I said bluntly, "She always asks me to help her play games and level up. She either disturbs me in class or interrupts me when I'm doing my homework. Who influences whom here?" The head teacher couldn't help interrupting. "David, this is ridiculous. It's not that I'm too harsh, but you've completely lost your self-respect. All you do is chase Lily. Yes, you entered this school as a top student, but what happened next? Don't use your research using this as an excuse to shift the blame to other students." I took a deep breath, trying to calm the anger and shame deep in my heart. I openly answered, "I admit that I have done a lot of wrong things in the past, but now I realize my mistake. I will not interact with Lily anymore. From now on, I will focus on my studies." The principal looked at the dean hesitantly. The dean understood what I meant and began to speak to me gently. "We're not saying you can't interact with Lily. People say girls are sensitive and careful. You've been chasing Lily for so long. Now you just walk away? How should girls deal with this problem?" The more I listened, the colder my heart became. I had a vague feeling of what was about to happen, but I didn't want to believe it. I asked, "Sir, what do you want to say?" The dean hesitated, but finally said, "After the college entrance examination, I won't interfere with you. Before the exam, try interacting with Lily as before. Don't let it affect her studies." I was shocked. "Are you all crazy?" I couldn't believe what I heard. "Are you encouraging us to build relationships early?" The head teacher frowned and talked nonsense. The principal looked at the head teacher. He sighed, expressing his disapproval, and then said to me kindly, "Of course the school does not allow premature love. It's just that you and Lily used to be very close. Now the college entrance examination is coming. You suddenly broke off relations with her. Isn't this like abandoning her? David, we ask for your patience. Keep a good relationship with Lily as before. This way you won't ruin her future. I asked, if this is okay, what about my future? The principal was stunned for a moment, then said softly, if you really want to learn, no one will stop you. I was silent. The principal asked, have you thought it through? I raised my chin and sneered smugly. Lily's future has nothing to do with me. The principal's face suddenly darkened. Chapter 6. Back to the classroom, I continued to sort out my mistakes. Lily handed me a blue couple's pen. I didn't take it. She smiled at me tenderly and said, David, you've been working very hard lately. I noticed your pen is running out, so I bought this for you. If I hadn't overheard the sound of the system just now, I may have been touched by her innocent girl next door show. I picked up the pen. My fingers stroked the cheap plastic casing and I guessed. I bought it at the small shop in front of the school. Probably no more than 3 yuan. I asked her what this meant. Lily shook the pink pen in her hand. This is the other half, she said. This is a set. I wrote a few lines on the paper, saying, the ink is too light. It's not smooth, and the pen case will dig into your hand. It's just a pretty vase, but it's useless. I threw the pen back to her and said, get something better. Lily was shocked. It's like she doesn't recognize me anymore. She must have thought that if she gave me this pen, I would change my mind, keep pursuing her, and keep doing her simple tasks. She didn't expect me to stop being fooled. The system is ringing. The host has detected. David rejected the couple's pen. You gave him. We regret to inform you. Your charisma value has decreased by 10. Your score will drop by 10 points on the next test. Lily snatched the test paper from my hand and said, David, is it because of the last dinner? I said, we are just ordinary classmates. You've been mad at me ever since. I'm just worried that people will misunderstand and tell the teacher. I reached for the paperback. My anger was burning in my chest. I gritted my teeth and said, give me my test paper. But Lily looked aggrieved, holding the newspaper to her chest. This made it hard for me to catch it. When she said, David, her eyes were filled with tears. I don't blame you for dodging the bill. For the last time, don't be mad at me. Next moment, I suddenly stood up and kicked over Lily's table. There were also textbooks and snacks in the desk, scattered all over the floor. The whole class quieted down. Lily looked at me in disbelief. I glared at her and asked her questions one after another. Why do you think you can take my test paper? You don't even know how long the university entrance exam is. You don't learn, and you don't want others to learn. What exactly is your agenda? Lily awkwardly handed the newspaper back to me. She said calmly, I was just kidding. Why are you making such a fuss? I laughed. Who would waste their life on such a meaningless joke? By the way, in your background, you can't even book a room at the Countess's restaurant. If you want to ask me, you can let me reserve a room for you. I'll ask my dad to help you. But no, you blame me. I didn't pay tens of thousands of dollars for meals. Tell everyone I didn't take part in the bill. Lily, we have nothing to do with each other. Don't bother me for no reason. I sat down and continued to look at the test paper. I added coldly, don't come to me again. Chapter 7. Class meeting. The head teacher moved my seat to the back, near the trash can. Not only that, but she also said in the meeting, some students are not focusing on learning. My head is full of romantic thoughts. Once you win someone's heart with sweet words, then they give up, causing their grades to drop. This kind of trash should be thrown in with the trash. The head teacher almost called my name. The whole class turned their attention to me. I didn't even look up and continued writing in my notebook. I ignored them. Seeing that I didn't react, the head teacher sneered and said, such a thick skin. See how long you can hold out. In a way, when I was a kid, I had a really thick skin. I don't care about other people's contempt. Now I am focusing on my studies. I don't care about their sarcasm. Lunch. Ken comes in from the back door of the classroom. He saw me at the door and covered his nose dramatically. Oh my God, it stinks. Do you mind? I didn't look up and continued writing. Walk away angrily. Ken wants to get angry. But when he saw Lily coming, he quickly regained his politeness. He said, I only care about you because you are Lily's desk mate. Otherwise, I wouldn't care about you. The Lily called my name almost pleadingly. David, let's make peace. I will talk to the teacher and change your seat back. I replied impatiently. You can go too. Ken said sharply. Lily is a person who doesn't know how to appreciate kindness. Don't waste your time on him. Come on, I'll take you to the restaurant. Ken opened his mouth. I heard a familiar system prompt tone. Detected. David rejected your attempt at reconciliation. We regret to inform you. Your charisma value has decreased by 10. Your score will drop by 10 points on the next test. Congratulations. The host Ken invites you to go to the restaurant with him. Your charisma score increased by 5. I looked up at Ken and warned him. Are you sure you want to have dinner with Lily? Aren't you worried about wasting time? Let me surpass you. Ken sneered. You will let this affect your studies. I am different from you. I lowered my head and ignored him. Respect blessings. When the housekeeper called me, I went to the school gate to pick up the meals I prepared. Then I went to the restaurant. The restaurant was crowded. I'm looking for an empty seat. Lily spotted me and waved to David. Without hesitation, I walked over and sat down to eat by myself. Meals prepared by the housekeeper are much better than what the restaurant provides. Colorful and fragrant. In the past, I shared most of my food with Lily, which made me hungry. But now I am enjoying the meal, completely ignoring Lily and Ken's gazes. Ken smiled. You kindly saved a seat for someone else, but they just eat by themselves. Lily, don't waste your kindness. People like him don't deserve it. I ate a big spoonful of crab roe. Squinting his eyes, he tasted it with satisfaction, and then said, Does your family run a cafeteria? Where I sit is none of your business. Ken says, I can't stand the way you treat Lily. I responded that how I treated her was none of your business. Ken retorted, A student who speaks so rudely? No wonder Lily doesn't like you. I retorted, Whether I am rude or not is none of your business. Ken put down his chopsticks suddenly. Staring at me with hostility, he said sternly, You only talk big. Let's see how you do on the next test. I responded, My test scores have nothing to do with you. Ken is speechless. End of month exam chapter 8, I went from 100th to 200th. My father specially hired a student from my family. A teacher from Tsinghua University and Peking University came to tutor me, one-to-one. The two of them disassembled the high school material, then feed me little by little. Lucky every day. I am smart and willing to make efforts. After the results come out, my dad doubled the tutor's salary. Lily fell from 20th to above 30th. The decline was not significant, mainly due to Ken. She can still gain charisma from him, but he can only give her so much money. Why am I not sure? His property was stolen. It also dropped by more than 30 places. He and Lily were called to the office by class advisor from 2 different classes. Ken has no shame about this. In fact, he is proud. He and Lily were called to the office. I couldn't help but admire him during the chat. He likes to attack fools, but he is actually the biggest fool. I figured out where Lily's grades came from. The charm system she possesses will give her the answer corresponding to her charm value. During the exam, all Lily had to do was copy them down. This means she is still that innocent girl deep down. She has been my spiritual little sister since the beginning. When the results are announced, the head teacher's attitude towards me deteriorated. She called me the class termite and ordered me to move the table and chairs outside. Listen to a lecture. I refused to go, so she stopped teaching. The students tried to persuade her, but she was stubborn and refused to listen. She was determined to save my face at the expense of my own. After halftime stalemate, suggestions from monitor, David, why don't you sit by the door? This way you won't disturb the class. I replied, Why should I do this? I retorted sharply, Speak to the class teacher word for word. Are you sure you don't want to teach? My teacher hates me. She said, Trash like you, who ruined the future of the provincial champion. You should feel lucky just to be allowed to listen outside. I nodded in agreement. If you don't want to teach, don't teach. I grabbed my phone and walked out of the classroom. The head teacher smiled proudly. Teach the whole class not to imitate me and go into decline. She hasn't even finished her class yet. When an education official arrived at school, I stand outside the classroom. Looking at the head teacher, I suddenly panicked in front of so many leaders. She hurried out of the classroom. She nodded and bowed, asking the leaders what happened. One of the leaders pointed at me and said, Teacher Song, are you crazy? No matter how angry you are, how can you not let students attend class? The head teacher apologized quickly. Reader, this student has always been naughty and not focusing on studies. I just wanted to give him a warning. I smiled and said, Teacher, when you defame someone, remember one thing. There are cameras in the classroom. The head teacher retorted, What if there is a camera? Did I say something wrong? She was fierce and domineering towards me, but when facing the leadership, she changed into a completely different face. Wry smile. Leaders, this student is notoriously difficult to manage. In our school, I really have no choice. The leader cleared his throat and said, with subtle hints, whatever the reason, you can't stop students from attending class. What's the point of arguing with a student? What? The head teacher said more aggrievedly. There is a student in my class who will obviously be the provincial champion. Now this kid has ruined his future. How can I not be angry? The leader sighed and became more direct. You are an experienced teacher. You should understand the student's background. It's not unfair to be penalized for this. The head teacher looked shocked. She opened her mouth as if she wanted to say something, but she was too shocked to speak. The leader ignored her and said to me kindly, "Good kid." Back to the classroom. Chapter 9. When the head teacher was replaced, there were many complaints about me in class. But in one day, the school replaced her with a younger head teacher. She is not only an excellent teacher, but she also knows how to energize the class, making learning fun. No one gets bored or sleepy in her class. Gradually, no one cared what happened in the previous class. No longer a teacher, Lily's performance continued to decline, falling to 65th place. The gap between me and her, the number of places that once exceeded 1,000, has now been reduced to 20. Lily can no longer keep calm. At the graduation ceremony and coming-of-age celebrations, 1 month before the college entrance examination, she held up a scarf. I'm not sure where she bought it. She claimed she knitted it herself and confessed to me openly. The school has specially arranged a coming-of-age ceremony 1 month before the exam to give students one last chance to relax before focusing fully on studies. Few people confessed at this time, considering that if the guilty plea fails, this will not only damage the relationship, but also jeopardize their future prospects. Lily raised her scarf, watching me lovingly. Around, senior students have been silent for too long. When they finally got the gossip, they screamed and cheered. It's like taking some kind of stimulant. I looked at her and smiled. What are you doing? Lily blushed and said shyly, You have always been my desk mate, my David. You used to like me so much and treat me so well. But I never accepted your confession. Now it's my turn to pursue you. It's my turn to confess to you. Will you be my boyfriend? I said no. The system notified me immediately. Release has been detected. David rejected your public confession. Do your best. Unfortunately, your charm value has decreased by 30. You will lose 30 points on the next test. Lily looked sad. When she asked why, tears welled up in her eyes. I honestly said, You don't deserve me. Lily held back tears and said to David, I was wrong. After you left me, I realized I couldn't accept the reality. I can no longer concentrate on studying. I replied, You are such an amazing person. After rejecting Lily, my life didn't change at all. I continue to study hard as usual. I have completed high school. When revising, my 2 genius instructors even started teaching me some college-level material. I learned happily and painfully. In the first mock exam after the coming-of-age ceremony, I am ranked 3rd in my grade. Ken ranked 135th. Since then, I noticed I never met the principal again at school. When I finally met him, as soon as he found me, he immediately turned and walked away as if he were on fire. His beer belly sways with every step he takes. But even more impressive than my progress is Lily, regaining 1st place in grade. She even broke the school's highest grade record, scoring 704 points. Chapter 10. After hearing my results, Lily rolled her eyes and said, No matter how hard David tries, what's the point? As long as I want, he will always be at my feet. I paid more attention to Lily and soon realized she has to deal with several boys at once. These boys are famous, the academic elite in the grade. During the break, I followed Lily several times and vaguely know the charm system rules. I speculate that the charm system might work. It depends on how it satisfies worldly vanity. The more it can satisfy these wishes, the more charm points you get. As long as the academic elite is willing to do something for Lily, she will immediately gain quite a lot of charm points. Then it can be converted into scores. This is why Ken's charm value is limited, because with him, it didn't make Lily look particularly charming to others. I got the contact information of those 5 boys. I created a group chat and named it Lily and my backup. Their grades have declined to varying degrees. I quickly silenced them and told them if they continue to have any relationship with Lily, their grades will be more affected. I said, Believe it or not, I will update Lily's next exam results real-time in this group. 701 points, 692 points, 705 points. I cursed in the group. Who is so good at licking? You don't go to college. Scores are constantly updated. Some people left the group, while others joined. 680 points, 666 points, 674 points, 630 points, 650 points, 626 points, 588 points. I praised it in the group and said, "Well done. I love beautiful women more than I love the kingdom." Finally, the group score remained stable at 523 points. While everyone is waiting, Lily's test results, it did drop to 523 points. From first in grade to outside the top 100. I unmuted them. Facts speak louder than words. Everyone fell silent. After a long silence, someone sent a message saying, "It's time to be a real man." Then they left the group. Once someone starts, messages like, "It's time to be a real man," keep appearing. Then someone left the group. Lily's score dropped from 523 to 436, then 368. The news spread, and no one cared about her anymore. Chapter 11. After the college entrance examination, Lily came to me and ripped off her mask. She bit her lip and said, "Do you already understand this system? Why do you do things that hurt others? But it's no good for you. Now that I don't have this system, you feel much better?" I nodded seriously, finding it very interesting, and then said, "How many points would you get without this system? 400? 300? Maybe not even 200. Lily stamped his feet in anger. I hope she strangles me. However, just as the spiritual little sister rushed towards me, I tripped her with my foot, causing her to fall to the ground. She lay there crying and throwing tantrums, accusing me of bullying her. Several male classmates gathered around. David gave Lily a contemptuous look and said, "We will guarantee you." She didn't pay attention when she walked and tripped herself. She deserves it. Others added, "It's strange that she doesn't look so pretty now. I used to think she was my goddess." After that, we went out to eat, random chat, and complain about college entrance exam results. Someone asked, "Which school do you want to apply to?" Others responded, "I want to go to Ocean University. I heard their cafeteria is great." Another person said, "But there are more beautiful girls in D University. I think I'll go to college." Did you choose the school based on this? Don't you care about professionalism? Others answered, "No matter what major you choose, you will regret it later." Anyway, when the results came out, my score was 717, for percentage points higher than my forecast of 713. I became the most unexpected provincial champion. At school, graduation day, the new head teacher's face is about to break. She smiled and held my hand, praising me nonstop. I never thought of it. I really didn't expect. We unexpectedly won the provincial championship. Ha ha ha. Thank you, Mr. Song, and the Education Bureau. Before the TV interview, the principal specially made me a pot of Westlake tea, Longjing tea, and its precious leaves. He had a big smile on his face. "Too friendly. It makes me uncomfortable," he said. "David, the school was a bit too aggressive at first, but we always do it for your own good. I didn't expect you to be so hardworking. Bring honor to the school. The teachers and the school has prepared generous scholarships for you. There are even plans to create exclusive. The campus glory corridor is for you, right in front." The principal rubbed his hands and said, "We hope you will appreciate the school's support. When you are in front of the media, how does it sound?" I nodded honestly and said, "Certainly. I would like to express my gratitude for the school's support." In the interview, I specifically mentioned the school and the principal. I said, "I wanted to thank the school. Encourage me to fall in love sooner. Before the exam, all to improve my grades. I would also like to thank my former head teacher. Let me listen to the class outside the classroom. Let me enjoy the spacious corridor." I turned my gaze to the pale-faced principal and smiled gracefully. I said, "I have to thank my alma mater for my achievements today. Since my batch of students graduated, the school has completely declined. And the city's top schools, equally ranked, experimental school. As for Lily, she never showed up again. I heard she scored over 200 points. But who knows which school she will be admitted to? Who cares?